here's some things that I find triggering since nearly a year of trying for a baby. Number one is that song, Everything That I Praise the Lord. I'm starting to find that a bit triggering for me, because I feel like it's used on every pregnancy announcement, and they're beautiful and lovely, but every time it pops up on my feed, I know it's going to be a pregnancy announcement, and I will always support when I see one, and I'll always support pregnancy content, but I no longer like actively search for pregnancy content because I can't relate right now in my life, you know. So that song has started to be a bit of a because I really thought I'd be posting my pregnancy announcement to that by now. Baby sections, and like in particular baby clothes that I really want to buy, and I have thought about this. I thought I might just go ahead and buy the baby things that I want to buy, like the baby clothes. There's only 2 little sleep suity things that I want to get. I might just buy them for my toddler to put on her dolls, because I feel like maybe that will like heal this like kind of little triggered bit in me, because I can still order it, I can still see it in person, and then I can see it being used on my daughter's doll, and I get to appreciate this cute little sleep suit on a doll. Is that weird? I don't know. My acne, I've had bad acne for years. Like really been like, I had an allergic reaction to benzoyl peroxide on my face, then I had like a burn everywhere, and then I had topical steroid withdrawal, then I had perioral dermatitis, and when I was pregnant it all went away, and for the first time in my life I had this like beautiful skin. However, it's like come back, and sometimes it's in full force like at the moment, but I find that quite triggering because it just reminds me that like I'm not pregnant, and when I was pregnant my skin was lovely, and it's also a sign that my period's coming is when my skin gets really bad. And also just some things people say, like, but it doesn't really bother me that much, like when people say, oh, you're having another one, when are you having another one, what age gap do you want, yada yada yada, because we would have actually probably had a smaller, well, we would have, obviously Emily, we've been trying for a year, so our age gap we wanted like a year sooner. Yeah, it's just weird little things that I am finding a bit. So like with my car, I recently downgraded my car and got myself a more affordable car, but in the back of my mind thought, okay, if I do fall pregnant with another child, this isn't going to be big enough, so I'm going to wait and get myself like a bigger car again, because it's really helpful with all the baby stuff. But I'm not going to do that right now, because I'm not going to have a baby right now, so when the baby comes then, and it's just like, I find that a bit like triggering to me, that like my brain is kind of thinking that way rather than just like living for today. It's like constantly living for this thing that's hopefully going to come but hasn't come yet. We have been trying for our second baby for getting on a year now, and I thought that I would chat about it because I don't have anyone in my life at the moment to talk to about it apart from my partner. To talk about it, I'm 26. I'm the first out of my friends to have a baby. I had my daughter at 22, and then we started trying for our second baby at 25, and it's been nearly a year now and still negative pregnancy tests. I did recently speak to a GP because I have some other like symptoms with my cycle that I wanted to clear up and check out, and it was the most unhelpful GP appointment I've had in my life. And they prescribed me anti-inflammatories to take the day before my period. It was just you know, you're just not listened to. And I really respect the NHS and I really respect doctors, but it was not a good appointment. And essentially they said, because I'd had my daughter at 22, there was absolutely no sign for concern, even though I've not been on contraception since. There's absolutely no sign for concern, and it would be very unlikely that I would get a referral at my age of 26, even though I have like a history of painful ovulation and anyway, whatever. So, but yeah, with the whole trying to conceive like journey and situation, I feel like we've actually, if I'm being really honest, I've actually stopped the ovulation sticks and I've actually stopped tracking my cycle, because I feel as if it got a bit obsessive, and the amount of time I've sat down and filmed my reaction to taking a pregnancy test, and it's been negative, and it just feels a bit sad. I don't really want to do that anymore. And I'm someone who I'm very type B personality, but I quite like to have control of my life, and I like to plan and buy things in advance. Even though like my day-to-day is quite unorganized, I try to organize for the future. And I've also stopped doing that as well. Like, I don't like looking at the baby sections anymore. I don't, I haven't ordered anything to put in a baby box, because I feel as if I just keep feeling like, what's going on? Like, why has this not happened yet? And but equally, if it doesn't ever happen, and we're so blessed to have the daughter that we have, and I would love being a parent to one child, absolutely love it. I just want to know yes or no, am I going to have any more? And that's really how I feel. But for a while we started to kind of prepare for this baby that hasn't arrived, and we're going on a family trip soon. We nearly didn't go on the trip because we worked out I would have a newborn baby at the time, and just things, we didn't move back here for a while because we thought we would fall pregnant with another baby, like all these things, and life just worked out a little bit differently. So I wanted to have a chat about it. It's not a negative chat at all, but sometimes I feel like I think about these things like to myself, and maybe if someone else, you're in the same boat as me. I mean, I was the first out of all my friends to have a baby, and I'm now the first out of all my friends trying to conceive for another baby. So I don't know, maybe if you're in a situation like me and you just want to hear someone else chat about it, I thought maybe this video could be helpful.